Very kind. Pleasure of the YouTube devotees. For the devotees. Oh. There we go, I think. Hare Krishna. Good morning, dear devotees. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Kalashanji's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we're continuing with the chapter 2 of Canto 1. We'll be focusing on text 9 today. Oops, this is chapter 1. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Kalashanji Shri Radhe Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. Shri Radha Kalashanji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We lost the connection. We lost the connection. That has to do with class today. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We'll do the invocation prayers. If we can do these together, please. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet nasta prayasha breshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Om Gyantimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranvitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Hare Krishna. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger for everyone. So, we're reading from Canto 1, Chapter 2. We've been reading we're getting into the answers of the sages to Sutta Goswami. They asked 6 questions, right? So we're getting into the answers of these. So we'll just dive right into this verse right here. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. Dharmasya pavargasya nartorityayo pakalpate nartyorityayo pakalpate nartasya dharma kyantasya nartasya dharma kantasya Kamolabhya hi smrityaha. Kamolabhya hi smrityaha. Bolo, please. Anybody? Nusya he aparvasya. Nartotya pakalpate Nartasya dharamikantasya Kamolabhya hi smritya Dharmasya parvyaksya Nartoritya pakalpate Nartasya dharmikantasya Kamolabhya hi smritya Dharmasya he aparvasya Nartorayo pakalpate Nartasya dharmikantasya Namolabhya hi smrita. One more. Dharmasya parvagayasya. Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Therefore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Purport. We've already discussed that pure devotional service to the Lord is automatically followed by perfect knowledge and detachment from material existence. But there are others who consider that all kinds of different occupational engagements, including those of religion, are meant for material gain. The general tendency of any ordinary man in any part of the world is to gain some material profit in exchange for religious or other occupational services. Even in the Vedic literatures, for all sorts of religious performance, an allurement of material gain is offered, and most people are attracted by such allurements or blessings of religiosity. Why are such so-called men of religion allured by material gain? Because material gain can enable one to fulfill desires, which in turn satisfy sense gratification. This cycle of occupational engagements includes so-called religiosity followed by material gain, and material gain followed by fulfillment of desires. Sense gratification is the general way for all sorts of fully occupied men. But in the statement of Sutta Goswami, as per the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is nullified by the present sloka. One should not engage himself in any sort of occupational service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification. How material gain should be utilized is described as follows. So in the beginning, in Canto 1, Chapter 1, Sri Vyasadeva has an issue. What is that issue that Sri Vyasadeva is having? Remember what the issue was that Sri Vyasadeva was having? Who came and helped him with his problem? Yeah, and what was his issue that he was having? Yes, Sri Vyasadeva didn't think his work, he wasn't finding satisfaction in the work that he did, right? And so his guru, Narada Muni, came to him and kind of chuckled at him at first, kind of poked at him and says, well, you did this amazing work and yet you don't look very happy. And Srivas says, you're right, Gurudev. I'm not happy. I've done this work that is masterful. I've done the work of all work, and yet I'm not satisfied. And what does Narada Muni says? He says, well, you've only encouraged people to gratify their senses in the name of religious principles. He says, instead of encouraging people to gratify their senses through religious principles, you should give the essence of the Vedas by giving people pure Krishna consciousness. Tell them about the name, fame, pastimes, the glories of Krishna, and this will make not only yourself happy, but everyone around you will be happy. So, this is where we're trying to get to. We're trying to take the essence of the Vedas and to please Krishna, to understand Krishna. And if we become deterred or distracted, we fall into what's called material sense gratification. Well, actually, we're already there, but we become Krishna conscious. And then while we're working on a Krishna conscious, we have a tendency to kind of, because we're not fixed in that, to fall back into sense gratification. So I thought I'd talk about 3 things that are important for the success in anything. If we're looking for success, there's 3 things that are present in anybody that's successful. First is intention. Second is attentiveness. And the third is the expectation. Whoa, expectation? Oh my gosh, we're going to talk, for success you have to have expectation? We'll build on that. So intention. Intention is often understood as the why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And in Krishna consciousness, our acharyas are giving us so many explanations of why we should become Krishna conscious. And so before doing anything, the level of your determination to do that is depend on how strong your why is. If you have a so-so why or a so-so intention, you know what kind of work you do? So-so kind of work. But if you have a strong why and a strong intention, then you're going to have a strong endeavor in your work that you do. And as devotees, what do we call work? Bhakti yoga, right? So if you're fledgling in your determination, then you're going to get fledgling results. So thinking about that our intention is really important, the why, can anybody think about the teachings of our acharyas, the teachings of our book, and explain, in a couple sentences, what we're being encouraged as our why, our intention? Any examples? I'll start off with one just to kind of get the ball running, right? Well, our why is because Krishna is the Supreme Person. So we should be acting, the reason why we want to do something successful, our why, our intention is to please Krishna. We want to make Krishna happy. Any other intentions that our acharyas give? Do we have a mic? I'm sorry. I should have looked beforehand. I apologize. Thank you, Nishinga Rupa, Prabhu. Right. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
To share Krishna consciousness from the cycle of birth and death.
To share Krishna consciousness and?
So that people can be released from the...
We're a Sankirtan movement. We're Christian. We're Christian. I said Christians for some. We're encouraged. What I meant was my encourage. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that the most dear to me are those that share this knowledge, right? And then Lord Chaitanya takes it so much further and says we need to go out and share Krishna consciousness with the holy name. And then Srila Prabhupada even takes it further. He says, yes, we need to spread it in every town and village. We need to give it to everybody, and we need to, we need to share Krishna consciousness with others. This is our intent, a very nice intention. Any other examples? Mom or Tammy?
Because we're not the body.
Because we're not the body. So, it's a very good point, right? Material gain means that we are doing something for the benefit of our body. We're doing something for the gain of our material situation. And we know through our teachings that why does that not work?
Because it doesn't last. It's
not who we are. It doesn't last. We make such a material situation, and at the time of death, it's all left behind. There's no U-Haul behind a hearse. Have you ever seen a U-Haul, a bunch of this person's stuff behind the hearse? Nope. Nothing. You come into this world with nothing and you leave with nothing. Any other intentions that pop up in your head? How about we want to please Guru? We want to please the spiritual master, right? That's an intention that we're given, the why of why we want to perform bhakti yoga, right? So our intention is important because we want to have a strong why, and that strong why is really an indication of it can be an indication of how determined we become. And in Krishna consciousness, at first, Krishna, we have this, what's called bhakta bliss, right? Everybody comes into Krishna consciousness, you're like, oh my gosh, this Krishna's his kindness, right? Oh, you're coming to me, I'm so happy. This big push comes, right? And then, after we are here for a while, we got to kind of start working on something. We got to start working on that, okay, Krishna is really stepping forward at first, and now it's our turn. Okay, now I really got to keep pushing forward, And so when that happens, sometimes what happens is because we don't have a relationship with Krishna that's very strong, the why isn't so big, right? However, if we continue to practice Krishna consciousness, Krishna becomes more real in our life, more present in our life, I should say, than more real. He becomes more present in our life. We start to see him. We start to attract to him. We start to get to know him more. And he becomes more and more important in the reasons why we do something. So our determination becomes much stronger when Krishna is alive in our life. So the second thing I mentioned, that was intention. The second thing I mentioned was attentive, or attention. So when we have a strong why, because it's determining our work, there's other things outside of us that will take our why. They'll take our attention. If we don't have a strong why, they'll go, I'm your why. This is called Maya, right? Maya says if you're not going to give your attention if you're not going to give your intention or attention to Krishna, then I'm going to take it. and we know the results of that, right? Spiraling downwards. So our attentiveness Srila Prabhupada says that before we become Krishna conscious, we need to become conscious, right? We need to be aware of our why. We need to be attentive to why we're doing something and make sure that we don't get off track. So, it's going to happen. We're going to get off track, right? Because we don't have a strong enough why, or we are the why, and that isn't strong enough. If you want a really strong why, it needs to be above you and beyond you. And because we have a tough time staying attentive to the ultimate why that we're being given by our acharyas. So I was wondering if anybody has any examples of what attentiveness in our Krishna consciousness looks like, or attention. Intentive, attention, pretty close to the same thing. Any examples? We're what? We're not dozing off in Srimad Bhagavatam class, right? We're attentive. We're hearing that, we want to hear the story of Srimad Bhagavatam. We want to hear from Sutta Goswami. We want to hear from Srila Prabhupada. And we want to participate in a way, thank you, Prabhu, that makes it real in our life. Right? Any other examples? Thank you, Tulsi.
We're chanting our rounds.
Yes, right? We even say it in the beginning. In the morning, there's 10 fences to the holy name. And what's the last one we say? Do you know what? When somebody gives you a list of things, do you know what usually the most important thing is? The last thing they say. Usually the last thing is the thing that they want to drill into you. Boom. Be attentive. Because when we're attentive to our rounds, automatically the 10 go away. The foundation of love is attention. When you're willing to stop anything that is important to you and give attention, that is your ultimate first step to giving that person your love. And so in Krishna consciousness, we're chanting Hare Krishna, and we're getting Krishna's attention. But what are we doing with that once we get it? Once we chant Hare Krishna, do we go, thanks Krishna, you gave me your attention, now I'm going to go what's important to me? Or can we stay on course that our supreme love of our life is right there, and he wants our attention, and he wants to give our attention, and he wants to engage with us? Rounds. Any other examples of attention or intentiveness in our Krishna consciousness? How about you're cooking something, and all of a sudden your kids run in. I'm cooking for Krishna. And the kids walk in and say, Mom, Dad, I got something that's so important, And you go, okay. And your attention needs to go to them. But it got distracted from the situation that you're already trying to do in your service. Now, the interesting thing about this is that as devotees, we need to become determined in our why to understand that we can, as I've heard from Nrsimha Rupa, he says we need to be able to pivot, right? So sometimes in Krishna consciousness, we need to pivot. My kids are important. My kids are my service. I pivot from there, and then I pivot back to my cooking, right? So both are important. There's not one that's... However, the attention, if our kids come in and they say, Dad, 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 I need help, and you say, and you're just giving them half attention because you're doing something else, then you're also, how should I say this? You might not fully observe their needs, right? And how important. How many times have you done this in your life? That somebody asks you something, but your attention's somewhere else and you don't really hear them, right? So, in life, things are trying to grab our attention. And as devotees, we want a strong why so that when something grabs our attention, we can be conscious about what our duty is to serve in that moment. So we've talked about intention, attention, and we're going to talk about expectations. Thank you. You take very nice notes. Expectations. Oh my gosh, expectations. I'm a devotee. I have no expectation. My only expectation is to please Krishna, right? However, to endeavor means to have an expectation. I'm going to do like this to get this success. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. So we need to have an expectation of the result that we're trying to accomplish? Yes. We need to have the expectation that we are trying after some result, right? The thing sometimes as devotees is we use this one phrase that kind of deflates this to a certain degree, that we get a wrong perception. What phrase is that? Anybody coming to mind? We're not supposed to be attached to results, right? Does anything come to mind? Right? If you tell the top book distributor, oh, Prabhu, Mataji, only 10 books is okay, they'll laugh at you. No, my service is to distribute this many books. I'm going to build on that. They are very determined in their expectation to distribute so many books. Any other examples? Were made to do that. His actions that he took were for the expectation that his result was going to be a worldwide movement. Any other examples you can think of? Oh, what a good example. Go ahead. So YouTube can hear too.
The example of when Prabhupada gave them a firm deadline for the Chaitanya.
Srila Prabhupada, what is success if I just make one disciple? If I just make one disciple, I will see my endeavor as successful. And then at another moment, he's saying, no, I'm going to have 108 temples. So, the lesson that we can take from this is that as devotees, we can take a wide range of attitudes from our acharyas and understand that these different perspectives and different attitudes are okay. Not only okay, they're good. At sometimes in your life, do you feel determined? Do you feel like you're going to get up and rule the world? I'm going to own the day. Yes. And then sometimes do you feel like, oh my gosh, if I can just get out of bed and chant my 16-year-olds, my life is successful? Yes. Right? So when we're looking at one situation, we don't have to negate another situation. We don't have to negate the other attitudes, right? That's a sidebar. So if we want to be successful in Krishna consciousness, we have a strong why, a strong intention. We are very attentive to how we're going to do it. And then we have an expectation of the result we're going to do. And if we can be determined in that expectation because pleasing Krishna and Guru is so strong, then we often pivot to try to find out how to continue to do that. We don't just give up. Oh, I'm a book distributor, but I'm not distributing books. Okay, well, maybe there's other ways to do it. Maybe there's other ways that you can look to make some adjustments. And so when you have an expectation or result, it doesn't mean that you failed when you didn't get your expectation. Matter of fact, you can look at it as, wow, what a gift. Now I know that way doesn't work. Now let me try a different way. Srila Prabhupada went through this all the time, right? Trying like this, trying like that, you just listen to the Juhu temple story. Every moment you're just like, geez, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, just make it easy for him. No, Krishna's like, this is the Leela between me and my devotee, is that there's going to be an adventure. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be lefts, there's going to be rights. And sure as heck, my devotee, with a great intention, a great why, a great determination, will always be victorious. So, in this verse, we were explained not to do anything for material gain. And so, to be determined in our spiritual profit, and our transcendental success, there's three things that we can use to realign ourselves with how we're moving forward in that endeavor. And that was, first we talked about intention, second we talked about attention or intentiveness, and then third we talked about the expectations for success and how to see that in the right light. Any questions, comments, corrections, please, devotees? Hare Krishna. Yes, Manjari Gopika. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you for such a nice class. As I always say, you're very expert at making people think critically and have a discussion. But I was just thinking about the link between intention and ultimate success, although you didn't mention success, because I was thinking of Srila Prabhupada, how, as you mentioned, he did face so many difficulties, especially the whole Juhu saga. But I was thinking about how at the time Prabhupada came to America, it was really trendy for people to go and hear, yogis and swamis speak in the 1960s. Mm-hmm. And if Prabhupada's intention, if his intention had been based on ego, if his intention had been, I want to have more disciples than anyone else, then he would have just said, you don't need regulative principles. You can eat meat. You can keep living the way you want. Just come to my classes. But his intention was to give Krishna consciousness. And he was so concentrated on that, that in the end, he did have disciples all over the world, more than probably he could have imagined, because Krishna aligned with his intention, which was to give him to other people.
Mm. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for a nice class, Prabhu. I was thinking of another point with intention, attentiveness, expectation. To help with the attentiveness and expectation, I think the process of accomplishing whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish is also very important. And if we have a good process, then it really helps us align all of this. So like the process of morning program, it's like we just show up, and then it just, we don't have to endeavor too much. Just following the process just helps us with everything.
Example, sometimes just be like a rod in the fire, right? Just put yourself in the fire. Just put yourself in the fire of devotee association and morning program, and it will do its thing. Just be there. What a good point.
Thank you for the nice class, Prabhu. I was just thinking about, reflecting on intentions and attentions and expectations like you were talking about, and thinking that, that if our intention is that, we really want to be aligned with what is it that Guru and Krishna want, and if that's our clear intention, and then we're focusing our attention on that, seeing what are the devotees telling me to do, what messages am I getting that I'm in alignment with the will of Guru and Krishna, and that then our expectations, it's like, in one sense, you don't have to kind of be so concerned about where you're going if you're in alignment with the will of Guru and Krishna. Anyway, you got me thinking. Yeah.
It's really interesting. By the way, well, I think that is a really good point, that sometimes our attitude is a little different at moments. By the way, I'm giving an attitude that we can strive for at moments, right? When we are feeling determined, when the sun is shining and we're up and stuff, let's make sure that our intention and our attention's clear, right? And that, it's okay to have expectations of lofty things that we want to do for Krishna. But if the first two are offline, you're really going to have a tough time through it, For instance, Mother Yashoda, just try to tell her that the result of Krishna being happy when she eats her sandwich isn't that, now she'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, if my boy doesn't take a bite of the sandwich that I make him and smile from ear to ear, I'm devastated. Mother Yashoda, when Krishna comes to home and he's dirty, Mother Yashoda wants him cleaned up so that he can have dinner with his father nicely. Mother Yashoda, it's not so, the result of Krishna being clean is not so important. She'll be like, what? Like, of course he needs to be clean. This is my boy. So we can see that the expectation of a result, and we can see it in our acharyas and in our Krishna's pastimes. The thing is that because we're conditioned, we're not quite, we're a little bit misaligned about what the result is that we really want. And so therefore Krishna, by his mercy, we fail sometimes because it needs to be adjusted, because we need some lessons, And so that's the adventure that Krishna gives us, is that, can you imagine that the cowherd boys are on an adventure, a treasure hunt, right? And if they get off in the map and go and dig somewhere else, then Krishna's going to be, Krishna wants them to succeed. So he might put something in the way for them to go the other way, get back on the track, So the thing is that when we, as devotees, don't see the result that we get, we also thank Krishna. Right? When I didn't get the result that I was looking for, thank you, Krishna. If I didn't get that result, it must be for because of your reasoning, right? And so therefore we can take it as, do I need to adjust my result that I'm looking for? Do I need to adjust my process? Then we start talking to people, right? Hey, I really want to distribute 1,000 books a day, and I'm only at 10. Prabhu, I should just give up. No, go talk to Premashwar Prabhu and ask for a little bit of help, and he'll adjust you so that you get 100 books a day. Ask Chuta Govinda Prabhu, how might I get more books out? And he says, okay, go to this place, go to like this, right? So then instead of giving up your result, what's that, Prabhu?
Thank you for bringing this up. Actually, we have been getting so many sponsorships for Bhagavad Gita. So now we need to find places of how we can actually distribute them. So if anyone would like to help, please kindly help us. Sorry?
We have books for distribution. Jai. Very nice. And then when you get those books from Ochita given to Prabhu, you can say, hey, Prabhu, where might I go to distribute these books? And I'll give you some good spots, right?
We're still trying to get to
Yeah.
disturb your
No, you're not never disturbing me, Prabhu.
I think we have total around somewhere around 90, I think, cases of Bhagavad
90
Gitas
cases.
sponsored. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I'll take a case.
Jai, there you go. You got one.
Sold. So yeah, the point is that as a devotees, we just have a great confidence that Krishna is taking care of me. Srila Prabhupada says in the Nectar of Instruction, confidence is Krishna will give me what is needed to serve. He'll give me what I need to do to serve, and he will protect me. So we just keep moving, and we go, oh, Krishna will protect me. I haven't lost anything. I'm still alive. I'm still in the association of devotees. Oh, he'll give you'll be amazed that if you just take action, how much Krishna will reciprocate to adjust, and help you. Mishra Bhagavan Prabhu.
After Haridas Thakur left the village that he was, where Ramachandra Khan lived, and where they tried to embarrass him with the prostitute, and he moved on. He just walked away, and he went to another village where he met the father of Raghunath Das Goswami. So he went to, I think his name was Mangalam something. Anyway, he was the father of Raghunath Govardhan. Yes, he was the father of Raghunath Das Goswami. So Haridas Thakur came and visited the house, and it said that Raghunath got the mercy, Kripa Kahe, from Haridas Thakur and became a devotee. So it doesn't mention that really that Raghunath Das Goswami, all it said that Raghunath Das Goswami did was come to see Haridas Thakur every day. And then Haridas Thakur gave him his mercy. And then he becomes Raghunath Das Goswami. So how much are we dependent on the mercies? Like sometimes we say determination and mercy. Well, some of us don't really have one of the fingers, we're like dependent on the mercy. So how much is the mercy the criteria as opposed to the personal determination?
The mercy is everything. The mercy is it's really quite interesting because, really our attitude is one of the only things we really can control, right? Srila Prabhupada says in the Nectar of Instruction that the advancement of devotee is dependent on their attitude, right? So we can have expectations of results. We can be attentive. We can be determined. We can be set our intentions. Ultimately, in our internal state, we should be like, I know that I'm only going to succeed or not succeed only by Guru's mercy, by Krishna's mercy. So this is why a devotee and a person who is not so interested in Krishna's satisfaction can be side by side, and they can be doing the same thing, and one's totally different than the other, right? Because the devotee inside, his attitude is that this is for my Krishna, this is for the pleasure of my Guru, and therefore I am doing this service, right? And so our finger is to act, to do, to move forward, to try. While at the same time, internally, our consciousness, our Krishna consciousness, is that it's Krishna's. It's all up to Krishna whether I succeed or don't succeed. And either way, I'm going to keep trying. I'm just do the best I can. And really the ultimate thing is I just want to put a smile on Krishna's face. And you know what? Sometimes it's funny for people to fail. Have you ever laughed when somebody trips? Krishna sticks out his leg and watches trips. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, there's teasing, right? You know, you tease with each other, and what I'm saying is we're ultimate for Krishna's pleasure, and so you know, to be a little bit more, anyways, is that it takes any teacher or person who loves somebody. There's great pleasure in watching the person struggle and keep moving forward and stand back up. You know, when a father or mother is teaching their child to ride the bike and the child gets back on the bike after falling down, it's like, gosh, they're so, you know, they're trying so hard, you know? And if they fall again, it's like, oh, well, but gosh, they're trying so hard, you know? So our endeavor is to keep moving forward. And that can be keep making adjustments for the result that we're trying to give to Krishna, the gift that we're trying to give to him. What do you think, Prabhu? Yes, Babaji.
Mishra Bhagavan Prabhu always asks nice questions
Yes.
to churn the nectar. I feel like he knows the answers to all of these questions, but he's just helping us all discuss it more. But it reminded me of 9:29 Bhagavad Gita. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend in me, and I am also a friend to him. And Prabhupada gives some really nice examples in the purport, like, you know, that just like the rain goes everywhere. And then I heard it, I don't remember, explained so nicely with like the sun. The sun shines everywhere, but there's certain parts of the earth that the sun actually never touches because it's like a mountain, and the sun just, because of the angle, the sun never hits there. So in that sense, like Krishna's mercy is there for everybody. But when we do our part to reciprocate and become open to it, then it comes also. So I just thought, great question, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Mom? We'll make this the last comment. I'll make one last comment, and then we'll break for prasadam.
Listen to everything that you're talking about, intention, attention, and expectations. I know that for me, it all starts with the first step. If I don't take the first step, I don't get anywhere. Like Srila Prabhupada asks us to get up early, attend morning program, chant our rounds, and attend Srimad Bhagavatam class. So the first step for that to me is getting out of bed. Once I get out of bed, it's all downhill. So I think, and then what Mishra was talking about too, that was the first step. Taking the first step was what was important. So I think that's, once we do that, Krishna meets us. And if we don't take the first step, we can't fulfill his expectations. We can't fulfill our own expectations.
I remember coming to a similar realization. I was like, you know, thinking of this morning program as this, 4-hour process. And I was like, you know what? Just get up at 3:45 and see what happens, Yeah, and once I got up at 3:45, I mean, there was nothing better to do than come to morning program. So just get up at 3:45, and yeah. Thank you. So the amazing thing about Krishna consciousness is, when we're in a situation where we're endeavoring to get out of conditioned state to a pure state, is that there's things like these tools that I'm hoping will help devotees, that help us move forward. The amazing thing about Krishna consciousness is that the ends and the means become the same when we become completely purified. So our intention and our expectation for results are nothing. there's no difference between the same. They're actually done through spontaneous. We don't have to check to see if we're being attentive. We don't have to check our intention. We don't have to check what result we're having. But while we're going through the process, these are 3 things that can be very helpful to check in. If we're, what is our attitude right now? What is the purpose for what we're doing? And they really can help it so that they become like riding a bike. Pretty soon we don't have to think about pedaling. We don't have to think about steering. We don't have to think about balance. You just keep moving forward. Because of Guru and Krishna's mercy, it just becomes, this is what I do. I just spontaneously, my intention is to put a smile on Krishna, and therefore I do this. I didn't, just do it. Mother Yashoda. Yes. Jai, Mother Yashoda. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Antikoti Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai.